Good morning. As you can see, I do have a lot of tea prepared over here, so I can show you. I want to talk about tea today. I'm going to separate teas into two types of categories, and then we go from there. And I've been very excited to do this because I do have a tea thing that I can't wait to open. Got a little unboxing. Okay, I'm going to be drinking some tea as I show you a bit more about tea. Okay, let's start with category number one, which are types of tea. And then we go into the forms of tea. I think that's better. So types of tea. There are two main types. And it's basically tea, which is Camilla something, which is the scientific name, which is where majority of this tea is, Camilla something. And the second type is a herbal tea, or herbal tea, depending on your pronunciation. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to show you tea packets first because it's just easier. Let's just take, these are the same. Okay, these are both Earl Grey. I wanted to give you another example. But this, for example, this is 100% black tea. And this is, this is 100% black tea. And that's the Camilla something tea. Within there, you have 6 different separation as well, but we're not going to go into that today. I just want to give you a quick introduction first. So that Camilla something, it's a very specific species of tea, and that's where all these black tea, pu'er, oolong, green tea, they all come from. It's the same scientific species name, which is like this. Herbal tea, on the other hand, are things like this. You've got French Earl Grey, you've got Earl Grey, you've got this is not like jasmine. Jasmine is kind of herbal because it's mixed, and then you've got these ginseng tea. Herbal tea is basically anything else that is not this Camilla something species. That's it. It's very straightforward. So everything you have, like those blends or those floral tea, chamomile, these are all herbal teas, including this ginseng. Because all it does is it puts water into something else that it's not this specific tea. Okay? So usually for this flower tea, you get them in little packets like this, or you actually have actual flower buds or herbal things. So mint tea, for example, my mom will always have mint at home. Then we just dunk it in hot water, pour hot water over a few minutes, and then you can start drinking the tea. So that is a category of tea. This is very, very popular in Britain, and it's primarily this kind of herbal tea. The other category of tea is, as I mentioned, is this. The other categories to look at tea is to go deeper to understand the form of tea in this Camilla something tea. I think it's called Camilla sensis, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, I want to show you the key forms, the 3 forms of this tea. The first one is powder form, and you get it in matcha. So this is bought in Kyoto, and can you see? Yes. So it's powder. So fun fact, and I found this in a museum. So fun fact, we see powder tea as part of a tea ceremony and a part of a tea culture in Japan. Powdered tea was first introduced in the Tang dynasty, and then after a little bit in the Song dynasty. This was because back then tea was not the high quality yet, so we needed to make tea into powder and then mix it, and then usually add some sugar or something, or some sweet cakes to really deal with the taste. So that's where powder tea started in China. Then it got exported to Japan, and then Japan formed its own tea culture. So today, the Japanese tea, just because it's powdered tea doesn't mean it's low quality bad tea. Japan now has very, very, very good tea. So this is one of a good matcha, and there are a couple of even better grades of matcha out there. I don't know enough about matcha, unfortunately, and I love this one that exists. It's all in Japanese, and I cannot read that. I can just read some of the Chinese-looking words, although, I don't know what that means. So this is matcha, powder tea. It's one form of tea. The other form of tea, which is this one that you can see, it's broken tea leaves. So this is common in all your packet teas like this. So this is French Earl Grey. They mix some French bergamot flowers with black tea. And the thing about these teas is that they are the lower quality of tea leaves. That's why they need to be crushed up and to release the flavors. And then you can drink it. And usually you only drink it once. You put it in water, put it for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then you can put milk or sugar, then you drink a tea. So because the tea is not whole leaves, it's of a lower grade, and you need to crush it up to release the aroma, release the flavor. So in China there isn't such thing. China went from boiling tea back in the early Tang and before Tang dynasty, and then powdered tea in the late Tang, early Song dynasty, and then tea culture became a thing. And that's where we started to have whole leaves. And I think we call it like pour over or soaking it. Basically you put water in for 10 to 20 seconds, maybe up to 1 minute depending on how many times you've used your tea, and then you just pour it out, you drink the tea. So the tea is very different, and more importantly, I give you an example of my tea. So these are whole leaf. You know, it's a whole piece of leaf, which is a main big difference in the tea. So you have powder, you have crushed up, and you have whole leaf teas. And I have a bunch of teas here. So they're all a bit different. This tea, this organic tea, this is Darjeeling, and this is from India. My friend got it from India. Yeah, this is a bit different because Indian tea is a bit different from Chinese tea. I have not explored Indian tea yet, but I just want to show you options of Indian tea. I'm not going to open it yet. I'm going to start drinking this soon. But I think this is a little bit more similar to the British style than the Chinese style. These are still, these are leaves in there. I believe they are whole leaves. They are not chopped up leaves, like this one. But it's a different drinking method and drinking style. When I was in India, I remember it was more like you have a tea. You just put tea into a big pot, and it's basically chai, right? Tea means chai, or chai means tea. And you have masala tea, where you put black tea into a pot, you add milk, you add spices, and it creates this beautiful, very, very, warming tea, especially when I was there in wintertime. So I have not learned and studied enough about Darjeeling tea or an Indian tea, but this is what I have. Now, with the Chinese tea, I've got 2 over here, and Chinese tea usually comes in, because they're whole leaves, right? They come in 2 ways. Okay, let's talk about processing first. So depending on the tea, they grow at different altitudes. Typically, the higher the altitude, the sweeter, the less caffeine, because these tea, they have caffeine because caffeine is bitter and then it repels insects. The higher you grow, the less insects you have, the less caffeine you need to produce, and it's a much sweeter aroma. So this pourer that I'm drinking, for example, it's grown at basically it grew in the mountains in Yunnan, and it's wonderful. Cheers. Same species, just like growing at different altitudes, you have different flavors and sweetness and profile to it. Of course, the picking season makes a big difference. If you pick it pre-spring, that's where it's the best. And then pre-rain, so after in the spring, before the rain comes, that's the second best. And then after that, they're all much lower quality. Also picking, they're all hand-picked, and that's how you have whole leaves, and that's why tea is very expensive. And you have different kind of leaves, right? In one stem, you have the little baby shoots. That's the most expensive one because that's the freshest, 最嫩, very fresh. And then you have all the other leaves coming out, and they have different grades. So the way it's being done is once they picked, I believe they are steamed, and then they are dried, and it rolls up into something. There are 2 types. One is rolling up into a bowl. Yeah, this one, okay, I cannot show you because I'm not opening it up yet. But this is a bowl, and yeah, it's a bowl shape. See? They're all little bowls. You have different sizes of bowls. So this one is 冰岛甜熟普洱珠, which means Bingdao is not Iceland that we know it. It's a specific island in China, in Yunnan actually, in one of the islands. And this is shopur, which is like cooked pu'er or fermented pu'er. And the one I'm drinking now is shen pu'er, which is raw pu'er. It's very different flavor profile. I really like this one more. And longzhu is just basically the shape of the thing. This is another one that I have, and this is 玉露高山牡丹王. This is another, okay, so this is from the Fujian province, whereas this is from the Yunnan province. The Yunnan is in the mountaintop. The Fujian is where you have the gongfu cha, which is a very famous type of tea. This is the tea that my grandparents drink, and I remember after dinner when we were young, I learned a lot about tea, and then we'll have a lot of tea together with my grandparents. Yeah, this is a different type of tea. Now I want to show you. So one type of packaging of the tea is to make them into little round beads, which makes it very easy to transport. The other type is to put them into cakes, cha bing. So I have another one that I didn't bring here, but it's over there. It's small little round ones like this. So they crush them together, compact them very, very well, wrap them in paper, and you can transport them all around the world, right? It makes it very easy to do transportation. So that one, usually it's a big round ones like this. I have it at my parents' place, but I didn't want to bring it with me to my place because it's a bit too much. So I was in Beijing and I bought the small ones, and I can just break them into pieces when I want to consume them, because one is a bit too much. This is something that I got from a friend, and this is hei mao cha, and they have different preparation methods. Now, look at this. There is cha bing, which is usually circular in shape, and this is a tea brick. I think it's called cha zhuang. Yeah. Anyway, look at this. I'm gonna pull this out. This entire brick, it's really hard. It's like this entire thing is tea. It's completely compacted tea. You fit them in here, and it makes a beautiful gift, isn't it? And yeah, I can feel probably a logo on here. So the way to open that, which I also got as a gift, is 茶剪, 多功能茶剪, which is kind of like a. Let's open this. Here, it looks scary. I don't know. It's the first time I'm seeing this. So it has a lot of different functions and features. They show it here to really cut the tea to use the tea. So I'm quite excited to be using this. I am drinking a lot of tea every morning now. So I'm going to be drinking my tea, and then I'm going to start using this to start trying this tea. I'm really excited about this. This looks very, very fun. Yes, and yeah, that's it for tea for now. And I will go more into tea and just understanding the tea culture and tea ceremony in the next couple videos. Bye!